yes, I haven't forgotten that trial 9 months ago here in this very courthouse, when that irreverent little student boy utterly humiliated me. Hey, he just did his job. Ah! Ryunosuke Naruhodo. What? Yes? This insult to the Ouchi family name will never be forgotten. Aw, you've become conceited with age, Council, but the old have to stand aside and make way for the new. Oh my gosh, yes, show it again, yes! It's the way of the world. May you never forget that. Literally the best part of the whole first game. I don't know, I'm kidding. One of the best parts. Alright, it's time. Oh gosh. I can't wait, I'm so excited. It's time, everybody. Welcome back, it's Light here. And it's Great Ace Attorney 2 time. Time for the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve. Oh my gosh, the music. Oh my gosh. Oh, the vibes for this one. Oh, I'm so excited. Let's get into it. Come on. Tell me what's up with Kazuma. Why is his name on the disc? Tell me. Oh? No. Don't tell me.
Standing here in the bright sunshine, looking out over the vast ocean. Those days in London seem like a dream. But I do miss my time in England's vast capital.
Oh, Sato.
You know, he's flourished into a truly wonderful lawyer.
Yes, he has.
I've no doubt that at this very moment, he's fighting some noble cause in court.
Totally not with his blank-eyed stare.
Forgive me for taking so long to come to visit you. My life has been such a whirlwind since I returned. And no one could have predicted what has happened. Just 2 months after arriving home.
I find myself faced with another awful crime? What?
So I came here today to ask something of you. Tomorrow, I shall be standing in court.
What?
For the only time in my life.
What?
As a lawyer.
What? I mean, you go, but what? What?
So please, I ask for your guidance. Kazuma-sama.
What? What in the world is going on? The adventure of the blossoming attorney. What? Okay, it's August. Interesting. Here I am again after 9 months. The Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. I feel so nervous, but I must steel my nerves and find a way to compose myself. Oh, her dad's okay. Oh, good, you're here. It doesn't do for a lawyer to be late. Oh, yes, good morning, sir. I hardly recognize you. You cut a fine figure, Counsel. But you look as white as a sheet. And those white eyes aren't doing you any favors either. Not again. Oh dear. The truth is, I'm so incredibly nervous. I feel utterly nauseated. I almost wish that I'd never been born. No. Bad. Goodness, not the sort of thing a father hopes to hear from his daughter, I must say. No. Eugene Mikatoba, professor of medicine at the Imperial Yume University. A man who, earlier in his life, traveled to Great Britain to study the latest advances in forensic medical science. And, of course, my brilliant father. Excuse me. Who are you? Would I be correct in thinking that you're to be my lawyer in court today? Oh, yes, that's right, miss. Well, I want to thank you for agreeing to represent me. I swear on my life. It's a complete fabrication, this whole thing. Ray Bammy, I'm sorry if I butchered that. Born the same year as I and my greatest friend. Aww. Though unusual for a woman in our time, she works at the university research laboratory helping my father. And sadly, she's the defendant in today's trial, accused of committing a truly awful murder. Are you feeling alright? Since we started talking, you seem, well, to have become a little flushed. Oh my, it's just that you look so gallant and dashing. What? Sorry? And when I fall under your intense gaze, it makes me feel rather bashful. What? Goodness, I don't think she knows. She hasn't realized who I am. Oh. So, Sasato's in a disguise, just like Mr. Sholmes. Wahahaha. It would seem our little plan for this trial is going to work. Oh, what do you mean, Professor Mikatoba? If even your best friend can't see through the disguise, I think we can relax. Disguise? Yes. I've never tried dressing this way before, of course, so I wasn't sure how convincing it would be. But this does make me feel a little relieved, as you say, Father. But Father? What? Is that you, Susato? I'm so sorry I didn't say something sooner, right? No, what are you doing? What's going on? Whoa, what? That varsity uniform, that varsity cap, that varsity cape, that varsity badge. Look at you. You look, for all the world, just like a student of the Imperial Yume University, a male student. I'm so glad you think so. It means all my preparations have been worthwhile. I woke at 4 this morning to make a start. But I don't understand. Why are you dressed like that? Well, you see, it was the only way. The only way she would be permitted into the Supreme Court to take on your defense in this trial. My defense? Never before in my life have I felt so frustrated at having been born into this body. Courts in Japan are barred to women. We're not even allowed to set foot inside the courtroom, despite the fact that the laws of the land apply to all people, male and female alike. Well, that's just rude. But women are forbidden. Just for today, I'll be leaving my true self at the courtroom door, so that I can act as your lawyer. Oh, Susato, you'd go to such lengths for me? Of course, you're my greatest friend. I just worry that I shan't be the lawyer you deserve. Oh no, I have complete faith in you. Ray. It's so strange though. It really is. And like the fact that we're in like third person with her, it really is so weird. I mean, you're such an accomplished judicial assistant already. And yet, just because you're a woman, what a wretched reason. I mean, why shouldn't you be allowed in court? You're so gallant and dashing. Aw. Ray, please don't look at me like that, with those flushed cheeks and doting eyes. Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, it's just, you really do look so dashing. Yes, you mentioned that once or twice. You should be pleased. It means you look convincing as a man. I am pleased, I think. It certainly helped to bolster my confidence today. Ray, you're managing to put on a brave face in all this, but I can see through it. I've noticed how your shoulders are slumped, and how you're trembling ever so slightly. Susato, you do believe me, don't you? Of course! I didn't do it. I couldn't have. I mean, murder. Of course. You have nothing to worry about. Your conscience is perfectly clean. Isn't that right? Yes. Yes, it is. Perfectly clean. I have absolutely no doubt in my mind about your innocence, which is why I'll stand by you until the better end in this trial. Whatever happens, I'll always be on your side. Because that's what it means to be a defense lawyer. That means so much to me, Susato. Defendant, counsel. Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. Here we go. I was thinking, like, would we ever go back to the Japanese courtroom? It seems we are. You should go in at once, Ray. If you're late, the judge won't hesitate to pronounce you guilty. Oh. Stand aside! I don't think I've ever seen her run so fast. That's cute. Well, Susato, you've certainly surprised your father. Going to such lengths to be admitted into the courtroom, and with no prior experience of being a lawyer. There is simply no other way. That's all there is to it. But father, you haven't told her, have you? I mean, I'm right in assuming that Ray doesn't know how it came to this? Yes, quite right. I've kept that information from her. It would only worry her if she found out that no other lawyer would agree to take our case again. Come on, why? Ryunosuke, Gina, Saseki, all of them, like why? I didn't want to burden her with that. And is it true? The reason why every other lawyer is refusing to take the case? Is it really because of who the victim was? If I'm right, and the victim was that lady from the first case of the first game, what the heck is going on with her? We should be making a move now, too. As you know, law isn't my field, but I'll do what I can to support my student. Aww. Thank you, Father. I'm Susato Mikatoba, a judicial assistant. 8 months ago, I accompanied a student of law on a study trip to Great Britain. But 2 months ago, due to unforeseen circumstances, I found myself back in Japan. No, Ryunosuke. How many times have I wished that he were here, I wonder. Still, I have no choice now but to steel myself for the trial ahead. No. Wish me luck, Naruhodo-san. Aw, so like, Ryunosuke had to do a trial without her, and now she's about to do one without him. That's sad. Oh, he's back. Great. This court is now in session to hear the trial of Ray Membami. The prosecution is fully prepared to fully ready to proceed, Your Excellency. Aww. But like, the pink is a dead giveaway. Defense counsel, are you ready? Yes, Your Excellency. We are ready. Ready! No! You don't have to imitate everything Ryunosuke did. Ah, yes, counsel. According to your registration details, your name is, Ryutaro Naruhodo. Is that correct? How was she able to use the Naruhodo name? That's so funny. Sorry? Oh yes, I had to come up with a suitable male name for you for this little venture. So I'm afraid to say I simply put down the first name that sprung to mind. Well, counsel. Yes, that's right, that's me. Yes, I am Ryutaro, he who has vowed to uphold the pride of the great Naruhodo clan. It seems Ryutaro may need to consider how better to uphold his manly act first and not overdo it. And those wild, wide eyes aren't doing you any favors either. Just relax and listen. Naruhodo? A fresh face in this courtroom, if I'm not mistaken. with the name Naruhodo. Would that perchance be... You may be thinking of Ryunosuke Naruhodo, currently in Britain as part of a study program. This is, his cousin. His cousin! That's right. Ryotaro here has been studying in the provinces, but was called to the capital for this trial. I assure you, in matters of law, his knowledge rivals that of any of Tokyo's preeminent lawyers. Any of them! Oh, Susato, tut tut tut, what a pitiful situation. Having been rejected by every lawyer in the capital, the accused had to call in a country boy. How dare you! Shizato is every bit as gallant and dashing as any of your Tokyo attorneys. And will have you making fun of her. Her? Oh, Please be careful, Ray. What an unrefined tomboy we have here. But I wonder, is your gallant and dashing lawyer up to the challenge of defending you? His wide, skittish eyes very much suggest that he is not. I'm so nervous. Now that I'm standing in his shoes, I'm starting to understand what Naruhodo-san goes through. Like it or not, eyes want to flit. That's cute. That's so cute. The case to be heard on this day is a matter of great significance to our national interests. In fact, it would be reasonable to assume that the outcome of this trial may well affect the very future of our empire. Just like the trial 9 months ago, not again. And yet for proceedings of such importance, we have this unknown yokel by the dock. Dear me. Perhaps this would be an appropriate moment for me to assess the defense, to determine whether you are sufficiently competent to practice in this courtroom. Wait, do we have... Oh, we can't even open the court record yet. Okay. 9 months ago, when a certain other Naruhodo stood where you're standing now. No, the same judge tested him as well. No. And even though he was just a student at the time, not even of law, he passed the test with flying colors. For a trained and experienced judicial assistant like you, this will be easy. So, counsel, do you consent to answering some simple questions? What if we mess it up on purpose? Aw, it's so cute. Alright, it's time to prove myself. Yes, Your Excellency, but please do make them simple. Very well, to start with, you will state the name of the victim. Phew, that is simple. I couldn't forget that if I tried. Don't tell me. Wait for it. It's happening all over again. What's the matter? Now that I'm standing in his shoes, I'm starting to understand something else Naruhodo-san goes through. Like it or not, minds want to blink. It's not surprising, really. It's your first time in this position and in that guise. Even a bright spark like you is bound to flicker and falter a little under the circumstances. Oh dear, this is a dismal failure. Don't fret. You need only use the knowledge you've gained as a judicial assistant to overcome the problem. Of course, the court record. Yes, the answer will be amongst all the key information about the case in the court record. That's right, just use R to open the court record. Then you need to flip to the people section with R, and don't take too long over it. His Excellency is watching you closely. Alright, check the court record with R. That's where the information I need will be. And let's see here. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't believe she's the victim. I'm waiting, counsel. What is the name of the victim in this case? I mean, we can't forget it either.
Yes!
No! Yes! This is perfect. The name of the victim who lost her life in this case is Miss Giselle Brett. Giselle Brett. A name that will never be forgotten in the courtrooms of our country, I'm sure. Correct. And being a member of our empire's judiciary, you will be well aware of the significance of that name. So, let me pose another simple question. As you know, Miss Brett was a visiting student from the Empire of Great Britain. Why, then, is her name indelibly associated with our own empire's judicial history? Obviously, you won't have forgotten that case from 9 months ago. But if it's proving hard to recall the finer points, everything you need is included in the court record. Obviously, I still remember. That was the start of everything. Giselle Brett. Behind the woman student persona was the face of a killer.
Yes!
Oh good, she has a strong desk slam. 9 months ago, a visiting professor of medicine at the Imperial Yume University was killed, and the culprit was Giselle Brett. Yes, she was a killer. At the time, our country had just signed a new treaty with the Empire of Great Britain, and it was in the midst of this delicate diplomatic situation that the incident occurred. An Englishman, Dr. John H. Wilson, was shot dead. I believe he was an associate of yours, Professor Mikotoba. Yes, I was indebted to the man. He'd been my mentor when I went to London to study forensic medicine. Indeed, it was I who invited him here to Japan as a visiting professor at the university. Naturally, the murder of an Englishman on our soil was a matter the government wished to resolve rapidly. Indeed it was, which is why a secret trial was conducted here at the Supreme Court. Aww. A student of the Imperial Yume University was arrested on suspicion of murder. A second-year English language student by the name of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. No, take me back. With the help of his best friend, a student lawyer, the accused conducted his own defense and exposed a despicable crime committed by Miss Giselle Brett. Miss Brett eventually admitted to her crime. However, when questioned about the motive that drove her to take Dr. Wilson's life, she gave no satisfactory answer before the trial reached its conclusion. Immediately after the trial, the British government brought its consular jurisdiction into play. We were unable to sentence Miss Brett according to our empire's laws. It was decided that she would be removed to Shanghai, China, instead. Why Shanghai? There's a British consular court there. Correct. I oversaw the negotiations personally. The date of her transfer to Shanghai was finally settled upon only last week. Really? All that remained of our empire's obligations was to see the woman safely on board a steamship. And yet, the very day before her departure, the Englishwoman was killed. Only the day before? That will do. I'm satisfied that the counsel for the defense is sufficiently capable of representing the defendant. Oh! Thank you, Your Excellency. Over the first hurdle. Now, a summary of the incident, if you please. Prosecutor Aochi. My goodness. As is your wish, Your Excellency. I can't believe you have to deal with this guy again. The repugnant crime took place on the 11th of August in broad daylight. So pretty, even though it's the scene of a murder. On the outskirts of the imperial capital under a bright blue sky at a secluded bathing spot by the sea. The incident occurred inside a small beach hut, erected for bathers to rest or change their clothes. The cause of death was a single stab wound to the posterior abdomen that pierced the victim's lung, an injury which proved fatal. There were two persons alone together in the beach hut at the time of the victim's death, Miss Brett, in her bathing attire, and the accused, Raymond Bammy. Accordingly, there can be no doubt of the accused's guilt, especially when we consider she had a powerful motive. The police arrived rapidly at the scene and promptly arrested the young lady. Oh boy. Well, that extraordinary description of events leaves me somewhat lost for words, I must say. That's certainly true. The prosecution summary was full of words that raised an awful lot of questions. As a lawyer, I really ought to pick up the prosecution counsel on what he said about... Oh, the motive, right? Clearly exaggerating powerful motive is a blatant overstatement. Tut tut tut. Is the yokel boy using long words he doesn't fully understand? I beg your pardon. No matter. Let us put this to the accused, shall we? Mbami-san, you are a research assistant at the Imperial Yume University, I believe. Yes, I am. I'm working with Professor Mikotoba in his laboratory at the moment. I can confirm that. The defendant is an excellent assistant with a strong sense of responsibility. Fascinating to hear. Now, another question. Prior to your work with Professor Mikotoba, whose research were you assisting then? Oh, I was studying under Dr. John H. Wilson. Dr. Wilson? The visiting English professor who was murdered by Miss Brett 9 months ago? Uh-oh. The accused had a deep-seated respect for her former mentor, Dr. Wilson. Is that not true? Yes, Dr. Wilson was a wonderful man. Interesting. Then tell the court what deep-seated feelings you had towards the Englishwoman who killed him. Well, obviously I was filled for hatred for what she'd done. A powerful hatred. Oh, Ray. Oh no, Ray, be careful of what you're saying. Ah. The motive was revenge. Plain and simple, Your Excellency. Well, it was clearly a trap all along. How wicked of him to use Ray's undying respect for her former mentor against her like that. I must find out more details, and something we can use to bolster our defense. As a lawyer... I think we're just gonna have to go through all of them, it's fine. If I may, Prosecutor Ouchie. What do you want? Fresh-faced young yokel student? I wonder, could you explain, please? You mentioned a bathing spot. Ha! My apologies. Clearly my modernity has confused a poor country bumpkin's simple mind. Bathing spots are the very latest trend in health practices from the West. We are told that bathing in the water of the ocean is curative, therapeutic, and excellent for the skin. No, that's not what I meant. I was referring to the fact that Miss Brett had, to all intents and purposes, been found guilty of murder. Why would a known criminal have been relaxing by the sea? For old time's sake, I believe. Sorry. Miss Brett was to depart for Shanghai the following day. Her final wish, as it were, was to enjoy a day at our country's wonderful coast. And the British Embassy put extreme pressure on our government to comply. But on what grounds would we agree to such a request? Because, as usual, our government is unable to stand up to foreign powers. In matters of diplomacy, it seems we don't even have the courage to decline the whims of a known criminal. Don't look at me, Professor. It was the government who granted permission, not I. In any case, it was decided that with a dedicated detective on duty, nothing could go wrong. But in fact, a murder took place. I said don't look at me. It was the young student girl who did it, not I. No one has proved that yet. I wouldn't provoke the man if you don't need to. At this stage, I need to gather more information, I think. Alright. Yeah, okay, so we do have to go through all three. It's fine. Mbami-san? Yes, what is it? Naruto-san. I'm really starting to wish we'd made my alias Ryotaro Susato. Please tell the court why exactly you were present at the bathing spot with the victim in the first place, and why you were alone with her. Oh, well, no, that's not true. It wasn't like that at all. There were other people present. A detective who was guarding Miss Brett, for starters. I was just asked to accompany Miss Brett as a companion, that's all. But let us be clear. At the moment of her death, you were alone together with the victim in the hut. You and no one else. The truth is, there is only one reason why this young woman accompanied Miss Brett on her bathing sojourn. It was the accused's last chance to take the victim's life. No! Because, as we know, the following day would see Miss Brett extradited to the British authorities in Shanghai. And the accused would never have an opportunity to dispatch her again. I hate you. Stop making stuff up. Kindly refrain from conjecture, Counsel. Yes. I believe we all have a clear picture of the incident now. Despite her guilt being determined 9 months ago, Miss Brett managed to avoid incarceration, instead continuing her research work at the university. Obviously, over that period, she and Ray would have encountered each other on a number of occasions. Seeing the murderer of the mentor for whom she had such great respect enjoying such undeserved liberty. Yes, even if it was only temporary until Miss Brett's extradition to Shanghai, you can hardly blame Ray for her feelings of anger and resentment. Poor Ray. So, Your Excellency, if you'd be so kind as to pursue this exhibit, a photographic print that shows the scene of the crime immediately following the grim incident. Oh my gosh. Yes, thank you, Counsel. A tragic image. As you can clearly see, there is nowhere within the hut that anyone else could have hidden. The court will accept this photographic print as evidence. Great, we love this. We love having our backs against the wall. As I understand it then, the victim and the defendant were alone inside the beach hut at the time. This is deeply troubling, I must say. The finger of guilt points firmly at the defendant. Well, Your Excellency, naturally the prosecution has much more to its case. Oh, great. We intend to prove the accused's appalling actions beyond all possible contention. To that end, I can confirm that we have multiple witnesses to the crime and damning evidence. Witnesses, but they were alone. How? Witnesses, but who? Well, I guess the detective for one. One of whom, I might add, is a highly respected police detective. Is it Hasonaga? Please let it be. I assure you, the testimony of these witnesses will leave no room for doubt. Ugh. She looks so cute in that uniform, I just can't get over it. Very well then, Counsel, bring forth your witnesses. I, Takatsushi Aochi, have been waiting for this moment. Sorry. Oh yes, I haven't forgotten that trial 9 months ago here in this very courthouse, when that irreverent little student boy utterly humiliated me. Hey, he just did his job. Ah! Ryunosuke Naruhodo. What? Yes? This insult to the Aochi family name will never be forgotten. Aw, you've become conceited with age, Counsel, but the old have to stand aside and make way for the new. Oh my gosh, yes, show it again, yes! It's the way of the world. May you never forget that. Literally the best part of the whole first game. I don't know, I'm kidding. One of the best parts. Strike the head of a samurai whose top knot has been cut, and the bell of cultural enlightenment tolls. Yes, on that fateful day, my formal self died. The start of your own major revolution. Are you modernizing as well, Counsel? Silence! Since I swore revenge back then, there has been a minor miracle atop my head. Observe the Aochi growth. Ay. You see this seed of hope sprouting forth from the barren expanse of my crown? I think that tiny growth is trying to tell me something. I'm afraid I can't really see. Where is the hope exactly? I said silence! Today, I face another Yoko student of the Naruhodo clan. Well, I will vanquish you. And my victory will be fertilizer for the seed of hope atop my head. You have been warned. With that, the prosecution calls the witnesses to the stand. Yeah, you're not winning, but it looks like the stakes are high on both sides in this trial. The prosecution and defense each has much to lose. A haircut is hardly comparable to Ray's life. Yeah. Hardly. Did I say highly? I don't know. It is! And Sasaki! Oh my gosh, yes! Oh, this is gonna be great. Witnesses, please state your names and occupations for the court. Chief Inspector Satoru Hasanaga, Imperial Police Bureau. I'm in disguise, obviously, so I can go undetected. This guy has been in disguise since we met him. And I am, well, the next big thing in books. An author renowned throughout the capital, in fact, yes. Soon to be sold out, the satirical I Am a Cat, a sensational success by Sasaki Natsume. Oh my goodness. Struggling student from the provinces, please. You needn't be in awe of me. I needn't. It's only natural that you'd feel nervous in my presence, but all of you, please relax. Call me Sasaki even. Yes. What on earth is Sasaki-san doing here? Tread carefully, Sato. That author fellow knows you from your time in London, doesn't he? If he exposes you for who you really are, this will be over before it's begun. Yes, of course, I know. I presume Sasaki-san won't have forgotten about me. I could certainly never forget him. Although he does seem to have changed somewhat in the 6 months or so that's been since I last saw him. And as for Inspector Hasanaga, that amazing outfit is hard to believe. Do I have something on my face? Well, your glasses for one, although they don't seem to be helping you see. Thank goodness he hasn't recognized me either. I suppose it's just disguise, is it? I thought that appearing here in the clothes I was wearing at the time would make for a more faithful testimony. It is my guiding principle to carry out all testimonies flawlessly. Well, I can appreciate why an Imperial Police Bureau detective might have been present, but what business did a writer such as yourself have being at the scene, Sasaki-san? Oh, well, you see, I had been asked that day to give a lecture, on the morning of the incident, in the Imperial Yume University's Grand Lecture Hall, no less. At Yume University? After the lecture, I had a very pleasant conversation with a researcher from the Medical Science Department. The professor over there, in fact. With Professor Mikotoba? Yes, that's right. It was arranged by one of the newspapers. They wanted some story or other about 2 former students who had studied in Great Britain. Of course, being a renowned author, the press never leave me alone. The secretly spy, snap shots, scribble stories, and scupper my privacy. As you can see, the conversation was written up in this newspaper here. Read it at your leisure, my provincial struggling student friend. I have plenty of copies. Thank you very much. Practically threw that paper at me. Nice. A newspaper containing an article about a discussion between my father and Sasaki-san. The debate became quite spirited. Anyway, following my interview with the professor, the lady in question appeared and made a very unexpected announcement. I should like to go with everyone to see your country's coast. Those were her words. As I explained before, Miss Brett was never taken into custody. She continued to work in my laboratory under strict surveillance, of course. At which utterance, the university immediately contacted the government to seek guidance. And the response was, permit Miss Brett to go as long as a detective accompanies her. That detective, I am at liberty to divulge, was me, Chief Inspector Satoru Hasanaga. This poor guy, every time he's put forward to guard someone, they end up dying. Thereby, the entire party departed cordially for the seaside, it seems. It was extremely challenging to clear all other members of the public from the vicinity of the beach. Don't tell me he still hasn't healed himself, but fortunately, I am at peak physical fitness at the moment, so I was able to carry out my duty flawlessly. But you're bleeding. Oh my, Inspector, you do have something on your face now. Ah, how unsightly, I do apologize. Does that mean that you went to the beach too, Father? No, fortunately, I had work to finish off. But unfortunately, of course, It meant that, as my assistant, Ray was invited to take my place. Of course, being a renowned author, I didn't like to decline the invitation. Oh, but if only I'd never had seen that awful sight! Relentlessly, racked by remorse and regret. I miss this guy. Very well, I must now ask you to present your formal testimony to the court. You will give an account of all that you witnessed on your impromptu excursion to the coast. Of course, Your Excellency. Relentlessly racked by remorse and regret, I am... Oh boy. Alright, the witness team. On the day of the incident, I was ordered on a special surveillance assignment in this disguise. I just managed to catch that crab when I suddenly heard a caterwaul from behind me. I ran into the beach hut at once, where I found the pair in question. Yes, yes, yes! That young girl was astride the Englishwoman, dagger in hand, as she stabbed wildly. I saw blood on the blade. It proved to me that she'd stabbed the victim multiple times. Indeed, it does appear from this testimony that both witnesses here present saw it all. The very moment of this heinous crime. What? Now, if you'll recall, I promised evidence as well. What phrase did I use again? Yes, that was it. Damning evidence. What have you there, counsel? A so-called fountain pen, is it? Correct, Your Excellency. I found it at the scene while examining the body. It appears that in her dying moments, with her final ounce of strength, the victim clutched a piece of evidence that would positively identify her killer. What? Your Excellency, if you would cast your eyes over the photographic print of the crime scene once more. Ah, goodness me. Yes, the victim is clearly grasping something quite deliberately there in her hand. That's right, the fountain pen. And if you would kindly examine the pen, Your Excellency. Ah! The owner's initials have been engraved into the ebonite peril. R.M. Raymond Bambi. The initials of the defendant. Ah! No! Oh, she gets slammed back into the wall too? Aw. That's cute. This fountain pen will be admitted immediately as critical evidence. Oh, this is great. This is just amazing. So, have I omitted anything? Decisive testimony and damning evidence. There is a bright blue sky outside the courthouse today. Perfect weather to ascribe guilt, I feel. I don't understand. The prosecutor Aochi of 9 months ago had none of this man's poise. Counsel for the defense, you may begin your cross-examination now. Oh boy. Naruhodo-san. Naruhodo. That means... Oh, yes, me! Is there another Naruhodo in my courtroom? Actually, there isn't even a single Naruhodo in your courtroom. Cousin Ryotaro, pull yourself together, please. Alright, I've seen this countless times as a judicial assistant. Find inconsistencies in the witnesses' testimonies to prove that they're lying somehow. That's all there is to it. That's how a real lawyer would handle a cross-examination. So let's see what I can do. Yeah, you go! You go, Sasato, you got this! Alright, we're gonna press for now because we don't really have much information.
Hold it!
Aw, her hold, it's so cute. In that jaunty disguise? Correct. Wait, no! I mean, it wasn't the first time I've worn this swimsuit for a dip in the ocean. It's tried and tested. Do what must be done to keep the English woman under surveillance. Those were my orders that day. And this tried and tested outfit was the answer. Being able to blend flawlessly into a crowd is an important part of a detective's job. Aww. I submerged myself into salty water, leaving only my turtle floating incompetently on the surface. Mr. Turtle loves the water. Aww. But there was no need for you to blend into the background on this assignment, really, was there? If that made you late arriving on the scene, I think perhaps you had your priorities wrong. No! Poor guy. Ahem, ahem. Oh yeah. Perhaps I shouldn't pursue this line of questioning any further at the moment. The poor guy. Oh man.
Hold it!
Ah, you're describing the victim's scream, presumably, Saseki-san. In more literary terms, you might say it was a scream that could have pierced the heavens. Yeah! Or the like. Of course, that's just a metaphor. We renowned authors are wont to describing things so. Saseki-san wasn't at all like this in England. Anyway, I spun around at the noise and the beach hut immediately fell under my gaze. Yes, the beach hut. The area is popular with government ministers. Many have seaside retreats there for rest and recuperation. Locals are prohibited from entering the area, so it's always very quiet. The beach hut is a simple structure erected as a place for people to change or take refuge from the sun. Although, the Englishwoman commandeered the hut for herself, which meant that I was forced to change into my swimwear in the sand. Ah, I imagine that was rather embarrassing for you. Well, anyway, I tossed the crab aside and headed for the beach hut at a run. Or, in more literary terms, I decrabbed and beetled off hut-wise. Wait, did we even... Hold on. I don't even know what I have in here. Post-mortem report, time of death just after 2 p.m. Death believed to be due to trauma to the victim's lung. A knife blade, only a single wound is identified. Double checking everything. Dang. Alright.
Hold it!
Wait, by pair you don't mean to say... But how could that be? No, you misunderstand. Obviously, I mean the victim and the defendant, Rei Mbami-san. Oh, it would have been helpful if you could have just said that from the outset. If you jump to conclusions, you have to expect to fall flat on your face sometimes. Dear me, putting your hopes on such an outside chance. Foolish, very foolish. It really was an outside chance. I just wish I'd realized that before I said something silly. So, Inspector, why don't you tell the court how exactly you found the aforementioned pair in the hut? Well, it was a sorry sight. A really grisly scene. I parted the northern curtain hanging in the doorway and stepped inside, only to see the defendant leaning menacingly over the lifeless body of the victim sprawled on the sand. Oh, this poor guy. All this time and you still haven't gotten yourself checked out? My glasses very nearly cracked at the ominous sight that met my eyes. How thoroughly appalling. He doesn't appear to be lying here. Well, Saseki-san, can you confirm what Inspector Hasanaga is saying, I wonder? You'd like a literary man's opinion?
Hold it!
Stabbed wildly? You actually saw her do it? Oh, indeed. The terrible spectre! The terror-pain inspector! The bloody torrent, the author's torment! Eek! Every sight and every sound is still carved in my melancholy memory. That was my impression, at least, as a future literary sensation. Counsel, what on earth was that shrill, effeminate scream? Oh, no, no, what are you insinuating? I'm as manly a Japanese man as you. I wonder if I might interject here, Saseki-san. Something you said is troubling me. That was my impression. Were your words just now, I believe? Oh? Ah, so do you mean to say you're not confident that you really did see what you've described? Oh. No! Yes! I know what I saw! My ears didn't deceive me when I heard that scream, hence my eyes didn't deceive me either. I could describe everything I saw vividly. I could publish it all in tomorrow's newspaper serial. sounds as though the next installment of I Am a Cat may take a macabre turn. I think this is a fool's errand. The more we press your author friend on what he saw, the more entrenched he's going to become. Oh dear, how awkward. Wait a second. Oh. Whoops.
Objection!
Aww. With that accusatory cry that just welled up from deep inside me, I think I finally understand. Every time Kazuma-sama and Naruhodo-san have stood here at this bench, the stakes have been very, very high indeed. The music! Oh my gosh! Oh, what's the meaning of that menacing pose, Council? I'd like the witness to clarify something for me. Who? What? Where? When? How? Not you, Sasaki-san. This query is directed at Inspector Hasanaga. At me? In your statement just now, you said that the victim was stabbed multiple times. Yes, that's right. As I said when I entered the hut, the defendant was already standing over the victim, bloody knife in hand, like a murderous demon. And yet, that cannot be. The music! Oh my gosh, the music! What? Get to the point, please, Counsel. Oh, she still has her little book. In the post-mortem report, it clearly states that the victim was stabbed one time only. In other words, Inspector Hasanaga's testimony is clearly flawed. The music! What? And Sasaki-san. Me? You claim to have seen Benbami-san in the throes of stabbing the victim. Yes, I did. Wildly! But both you and the inspector confirmed the same point, that there was already blood on the knife that you saw the defendant holding. Yes, and? It's quite simple. We know the murder weapon was used to stab the victim only once. Therefore, there is no way there could have been blood in the knife if that single stabbing hadn't already occurred. Ugh, true! Then what exactly is your contention, Counsel? Are you even going to tell us? Yes, Your Excellency. There's only one logical conclusion. What Sasaki-san in fact saw was not the moment that the defendant stabbed the victim at all, but the moment that the defendant in fact withdrew the blade from the victim's body. That can't be! Excellent work, Susato. You exploded at them without objection and then proceeded to pull them apart systematically. Just haha. Well, this takes me back. Yes, I seem to remember your cousin staged a scene much like this in that trial 9 months ago. A half-witted child with a half-baked objection attempted to steal the show. Hey! Ryunosuke is not half-baked. You're right. There were certain similarities. Except that so-called half-witted child managed to outwit the prosecution, who has only half a head of hair. Slander! My head is quite adequately dressed! In any case, all this talk of stabbing and withdrawing and multiple wounds, it makes not a jot of difference. What? Why not? Engage your brain, young man. When the accused first plunged the deadly weapon into the victim, that was the fatal blow. And it was that moment, just as she had withdrawn the blade ready for her next strike, that the witnesses saw. The knife was already tainted with blood because the accused had already stabbed the victim. Ah! All you have successfully shown with your little display is that the mustached author is prone to moments of extravagance. Ugh! Ow. I am in agreement with the prosecution. If the defendant was seen wielding the blade at all, that is sufficient grounds for her actions to be viewed with suspicion. But if she was withdrawing the blade, then we are back where we started. Sorry? Consider this, young yokel boy. If the student girl is innocent as you claim, then why would she have pulled the blade from the victim? And with a demon's cold-blooded composure, too. The prosecution demands an explanation, and it had better be good. Why did Ray pull out the knife? Yes, going for the juggler. Hmm? What does father mean by that? Let the court hear your answer then, counsel. Oh, things are getting intense. Wow, this is crazy. I love this though. It's cool having her on the as the defense in this time, and back in the Japan court too. But we'll have to give our answer next time. Oh, I can't wait to see how this goes. All right, guys. Hope you guys are having an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later.